And Greene. Hi, Jonathan.
Hey, Bart, how are you?
I'm good. Nice to see you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too. You brought up Brian Sturgener.
Yes.
You two were integral in hiring me and here in Jackson, so I'm sorry. But I knowing Brian the way I know him, it's hard for me to think he'd ever not have an opinion on something. Pro-plant, not pro-plant, but he's neutral. It's hard to believe from him.
It really is, yes. Yes. He's so mild-mannered, too.
All the time.
Yes. Well, actually, one of the things he's excited about, he might be getting a new neighbor, and it might be an 8-story tall neighbor.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I mean, it's in the works. It's being discussed. At our last city council meeting, we worked a trade with a developer from Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. They own the old school is on Greenwood, 3-acre parcel. They'd picked it up, not quite understanding what they'd really want to do with it. Mm-hmm. The developments they do are more dense, and so they're traditionally located in downtowns. So we approached them after our 100 home program kicked off, because we viewed that parcel as a pretty ideal place to put a dozen or so new homes. And over the course of a couple years, building a relationship, having conversations with them, figuring out what would be good for them in the development world here in Jackson, we settled on a property swap with some downtown property for that acreage out there. We intend, like I said, to put some homes on there, to offer it up to put homes on there. Downtown parcel, just out back parking lot from Jackson Coffee, as you said. We could be looking at a large housing development there right across from the parking structure. So, I don't think parking is going to be an issue then. So it's pretty exciting.
It is, and when I saw the parcel that they're interested in that they traded you for, it is next to the foundry,
yeah. Right?
And it looks very small, but if you're building up, I guess you don't need wide, right?
Yeah, exactly. If you go vertical, then, and it's actually a little bit bigger than you think. When you drive past, you're like, wow, that is really small, but you stand in it and you're like, okay, this is a sizable square. And then you can see, if you can envision it going up, 7, 8 stories, you can say this is a large kind of anchor type development in downtown, especially on that part of downtown.
That'd be awesome. And I'd get it with the parking structure right across the street. It makes perfect sense.
It does make perfect sense. So.
Yeah. So housing, everyone knows we need it, and that's just one of maybe even 3 potential projects that this developer is interested in.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, this is a burgeoning relationship. With this developer, and when they come into a new market like they would be coming into Jackson, they really want to have a large number of units under management, so they can make that investment and then create an office here and create like a branch type thing here. So it's just the beginning. The market, the environment, time will tell how everything pans out exactly, but our current plan is to have more than one development come out of this deal. And
this is not a company that has done business in Jackson before.
This is brand new. We're doing a really good job attracting some fresh perspectives and some fresh builders and developers to the city. They love the building environment we have here. They love the city. They love how easy it is to work with the city of Jackson, our community development department led by Shane Laporte, with the great building official and Brian Taylor. We review the plans quickly, provide comments. We work with people. I think what I've been trying to do as city manager since 2020 is really develop a culture where we're customer service oriented at the city, and we're looking for ways to make things happen. And I think 5 years on now, it bore fruit before, but you're really seeing now is it really maturing, and finally I think more and more people are understanding that this is a different place to be. This is a different place to live. This is a lot more welcoming to get stuff done.
Good to hear. In fact, Shane personally called all of the neighbors of the potential developments.
Yes.
To let them know what was potentially in the offing.
Mm-hmm. And that's just a part of the way we do things. The way I look at it, Jackson's a very tight-knit community, and everyone likes, if they're not going to be directly involved in something, it's always helpful to let them know what's going on so they can get whatever's on their chest off their chest or share the good news with others. And it was a great thing that Shane did by doing that and just making sure that the waters were warm and they understood and no one was surprised by what was happening.
Well, we've got 2 other projects that are nearing completion residential-wise, the Blackstone and the Greenwood.
Yeah, another two great housing projects we have in and around the downtown. One's in our downtown, and the Greenwood is just outside of our downtown. It's on the way into downtown, on the way into the core of the city. Going to provide just great housing options for us. The goal, obviously, is to grow the city, and I think we as people, we as humans can fall into a nostalgia trap where we want things to be the way they used to be. Well, the city of Jackson used to be a much larger population, so why not try that again? Why not grow our population and see what we can do? So that's why it's important to have all these housing options.
We have the Blackstone on our Skycam right now.
Yes.
It's actually the siding is all on now on I think pretty much all four sides.
Yeah, it looks like those lifts are doing right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really cool.
All the windows are in, so now they're essentially closed in, so they can do all the interior work all winter long.
Yep, and that's just a really exciting project up there. It complements what's going on at the Hayes, complements the lofts on Louis and the 200. You think about what that parcel looked like back in the day, Bart.
Yeah.
It was just a big green morass, and it took some vision to figure out what we needed to do. Well, actually, it wasn't green.
It was before. It was parking lot. It was a crumbled parking lot.
Yeah, it was never going to be anything as it was a parking lot. It took Pat coming in, my predecessor, saying like we need to take the first step and get rid of this so we can sell something here. We can sell not just the land but a vision of what it could be. And
it's amazing. The whole block full now.
Yeah, it is really cool.
The Hayes we saw in the shot, there are cars in the parking lot there. Is there something going on in the Hayes right now?
So what you'll see a lot of times, that's parking probably for the Commonwealth Associates. They have some of their, on the days they bring a lot of their employees downtown to the main office, that's when the parking gets parked there. On a regular basis, the developers on the Hayes and their contractors are in the building, refining plans, getting things set up, checking behind walls, making sure there's no surprises. It's a 120,000 square foot building. There's going to be surprises, so if they can mitigate those surprises and mitigate the unknowns, the project will be that much smoother and cheaper in the long run.
So with the lofts on Louis, the 200, the Blackstone, the Hayes, that will be more than 1,000 units of housing.
Don't ask the city manager to do math, because it sounds like it might be a little bit less, but that's a lot of housing.
It's a lot of housing, and where are all these people going to park?
Well, you can go back to the live shot.
Yeah, let's go back to the live shot.
At the Blackstone Apartments, where it's all dirt right now, that's parking for them.
Okay.
The Hayes, they'll have the parking lot right behind them, and you see all that mostly empty row of on-street parking on Pearl. That's all will all be made available. And you see, not all of the parking spaces in that parking lot are taken up. So,
do you think the Pearl Street you'll close it off and turn it into parking?
Ooh, that's a good idea, Bart. I don't know. We'd have to think through that. Anything's possible, but we'd have to really see how that would affect how movement happens downtown. We have to think about our businesses. You make a slight change in downtown's ecosystem, and you'll hear from a business.
Right.
So
we'll just get Shane on the phone.
45 minutes later, they'll want to hang up, and they'll just say yes to hang up.
Yeah. All right, we've got another big project happening downtown, and that is the former Vermeulen/Masonic Temple.
Yeah, this is exciting. This has been another long, ongoing project, and you see here some of the finishing touches, and some of the spaces have already been applied. Let me catch my bearings. So here we are on the first floor. So the entryway is mostly complete. As you just saw there, they're working on bathrooms. This is the main open area of the first floor. And what I like about this, that's very different from the big old buildings we have downtown, is the lack of pillars.
Yeah, wide open.
That's a big wide open space. You can have a couple hundred people in there, and you see some of the fresh paint we put on with that light blue. Still have some steps to work on, going up to the second floor mezzanine, but all very exciting. Got primer on the wall, some of the walls, finish paint on some of the other walls. We have flooring to do. That whole wood floor down there will be redone and look really sharp and like an old house. Have nice old looking wood. It'll creak and crack and give some character to it. You won't be able to hide in that place.
What I like
utility
is
closets right there.
Yeah, you've retained essentially the original usage of the building. It's a giant hall.
Yeah, and the bulk of the work is in the basement, and I know the video will cut down to that. But doing the basic touches on that first floor to make it really worthwhile. Here we're coming into the community kitchen area. That you see right there is one half of the kitchen. Over in where the camera's panning now is a learning space. There'll be classroom style setup. Looks like a nice oven there and a range. That's the second part of the kitchen. Now we're on the other side of the space. So it's going to have plenty of space. It's going to do a lot of things for us. First and foremost, we'll be able to promote entrepreneurial development in that kitchen spaces. So people wanting to start a food-based business will be able to rent the space in there, make their goods and take them to market. And also we intend to partner with a teaching organization to teach the future chefs and food service workers of Jackson, Michigan, and beyond. Creating economic opportunities for people here in Jackson is the main goal of this project. So,
sounds awesome.
It is awesome.
That room with all the bookcases, that was Lynn Vermeulen's office.
It was, yeah. I remember meeting with him in there a long time ago. Yeah, so we should bring him back, have a picture taken in there.
Well, this is something that I think was envisioned by Patty Poppy when she was here as CEO of Consumers Energy.
Yep. And I'm grateful to be able to continue the project. We did have a hiccup, a little thing of the pandemic in there. Changed or made us think about what we were doing with the commercial kitchen space and where we were doing it. So we had an opportunity to shift and directions on that and move over to the Masonic, or I think it's going to be a better offering all around. I think it'll be more useful to people, and I think just a better user experience for people going there to work, but also to learn. It could be rented out by a nonprofit to do culinary classes. I don't know, you see some places they do cooking classes for couples. That could be, a nonprofit could start up, rent a space, and do something like that there.
Yeah, there's a lot of places. I think of Zingerman's in Bake. They do all the cooking classes, and they're just sold out as soon as they're posted. And
now we have a space for it, and we just need someone with a dream to come in and start up their organization and make those sorts of things happen.
Cool. Well, it looks like we've got an exciting 2025 in the city of Jackson.
We do.
Thanks for coming over.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
You bet. Our city manager, Jonathan Greene.